What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today. Now, we end up having a good day on the VIP here. And what's really interesting about yesterday is we only had one hit. So you guys are going to see we have a loss here, loss here, loss here, loss here, and loss here. So we had 5 losses yesterday. And you might be seeing these 5 L's and you might be like, well, how on earth do we have a profitable day if we have 5 L's and only 1 win? Well, it's very simple, right? This one entry, we have an 8.75x, which means we go up 7.75 units from just this one entry alone, okay? So this one entry gives us 7.75 units. So that's obviously really nice to see. And I want to go into this entry and why it hit in League of Legends correlation. And then we have 5 losses. So we go down 5 units from this, right? 7.75 minus 5 is 2.75. So this is how many units we go up yesterday on PrizePicks, which is a solid day, right? Is it the best day ever? No, but it's a solid day and it's a profitable day. And we go up about 3 units, which is great, right? And again, this is what I always tell you guys every single day in these videos, right? I think I've drawn this like 3 videos in a row now, where again, on your VIP, on the VIP, my VIP, you're going to sometimes see loss, and then eventually you're going to have that one win. And that one win, let's just say it's like a 9x or whatever, just how it happened, yesterday or the past 24 hours. This one win right here is going to pay off all of these losses and then some. And this is the concept of the VIP. Why is this important to understand? Because you have to get your emotions in check. You're going to lose a lot. If you see the record, this is what I always talk about. It's probably the most important thing on the screen here. We have 300 wins and we have close to 1,200 losses on my VIP. And I say this to scare some people away because some people are not going to be able to handle 1,200 losses over the course of 2026 and only win 300 times, right? That's a lot more bad emotions than good emotions, right? On PrizePicks. That's why I always preach to not be emotional at all. You have to think about this in a very cold, calculated killer mentality where you don't care if things win or lose, honestly. And it's not fun to say that, right? Everyone wants to bet and everyone wants to have fun and everyone wants to, bet on their favorite players, but this is not what we do on this channel. We do this to make money, guys. That is the number one thing I want to say. So if you're here to have fun, it's not the channel for you, really. This is why we bet on these sports, to make money, right? A lot of times we're betting on things that happen at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. So I'm not even betting on games to watch, right? Because I'm asleep, obviously. I will say we are pretty much at all-time highs. Now, this is a little bit of a lie because this number should really say about 235. The simple reason is because this entry, actually like all 4 of these entries right here, still have games yet to play or going on right now. So how PrizePicks works is that once the final game is finalized, then PrizePicks counts it as a loss, and then additionally Pickett will count it as a loss, okay? So there's about like maybe 4 units to go down here, which would be like 235, which still would be pretty much all-time highs. So again, we're at all-time highs. As I said, over the past 2 weeks, guys, we've fluctuated a lot, right? We've gone down. It's fluctuated a lot, but it's been like a very tight band, right? We've gone down to like 225, then like 220, then we've gone back up to 230, then 235 again, and then 225 again, and then 230, then 235. It's just been a very up and down past 2 weeks, and sometimes it's going to happen eventually at some point. And again, I don't want you guys to like, all I'm going to say, eventually we're going to have a breakout, right? Eventually it's going to be another 50 unit week, 60 unit week, and that's going to come. And then this is going to be close to 300. And I'm going to tell you guys this, and whenever this happens, and then we're just going to keep moving on up. It always does happen, right? I've been doing this for 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. I know what happens on my VIP, okay? Because it's the same pattern every single time. So you can either choose to trust it. You can either choose to, understand this stuff, or you can, move on, like I said. One thing I want to say is, my goal by the beginning of the football season, so the beginning of the regular season, was to be up to 200 units because I wanted to go up 300 units during the football season, which is what we can normally do. So we are up about 200, like I said, 235, which is above pace. We are well on pace, and it's only week 1 of the preseason. So we still have the whole month to actually gain more units. And my goal by the end of the year is to go up 500 units. And if you don't know what that means as a $10 bettor, you'd go up $5,000, okay? As a $20 bettor, you'd go up $10,000 and so on, right? So that is really, really nice to see. We are well on pace for that. And I do want to get into some of the wins and some of the losses. Really, the losses I'm not really going to get into too much. Maybe I'll get into this loss here. I will also talk about Riley Leonard. I don't know if this pick is going to hit or not. You'll see that I took a screenshot at halftime, which this has kind of been a weird game so far. But Riley Leonard at at 87.5. I don't know why I couldn't say that, but 87.5. Riley Leonard goes over by 2 passing yards. And if you guys watched the game, it was the last throw of the game pretty much, right? So Patriots kick a field goal with 10 seconds left, and really they should have wasted the clock and then kicked a field goal so the Colts didn't have any chance to come back in the game. And what ends up happening is the Patriots miss. So then now the Colts have the ball on like the 40-yard line. So now they're trying to score and kick a field goal. Riley Leonard throws 1 pass for 6 yards and misses the under and hits his over, obviously, by 2 yards. And then he throws 1 more pass. I believe it was like a Hail Mary type pass, and it was incomplete. And the game ends a tie. And it's sad because honestly, I think that this is a good call. I think this is a good call. And if you saw yesterday's explanation, one of the main reasons is because I thought Easton Stick was actually going to come in and get some playing time, but he's not. He didn't. And this is going to kind of draw into what I'm seeing in the preseason as we get into today's picks. I do have a correlated NFL bet for you guys today with soccer correlation. So it's a 4-man NFL correlated and then soccer correlated, and we'll get into that. And then I have 2 additional NFL picks for you guys. Seemed like you guys really liked me giving the additional NFL picks in yesterday's video. But before I get into all that, which I just want to go through this very quickly, you guys see that this is League of Legends. Maybe you've never heard about League of Legends before, but all that matters in League of Legends is if you win or are you going to win or are you going to lose, right? So if you're going to win, then you're likely to go over together. If you're going to lose, then you're likely to go under together, right? Everyone on the team is likely to either go over together in a win or under together in a loss. So as you're going to see, these guys go way over together, right? It's not even close. This guy gets 19 kills and this guy gets 12 kills, right? So what do you think happened? Well, they ended up winning their game, and I'm going to show you this, right? These guys go way under together. What do you think happened? Well, they end up losing their game, right? So again, we're looking for this team, and I'm gonna show you guys that they ended up winning the game, right? It's Team We right here, and you'll see the guy we bet on was Karras and About, I think, right? Yeah, Karras and About, these 2 guys, right? So you'll see that they win the first game 31-20, right? They're the winning team. And the second game, they win 23-6. So on average, this is what I always say, is that the winning team gets about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team does. Does it happen every single time? No, of course not, right? It's sports, so I can't predict everything in sports. But most of the time, the winning team is going to get about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team. So we're going to try to identify the winning teams in League of Legends, and we're going to try to take them over together. And we're going to try to identify the losing teams, and we're going to try to take them under together. Again, it's easier said than done because I can't tell the future. I can't tell you guys if the team's going to win or lose every single time, but I can make my best predictions on sites using lines like from Bovada and Thunderpick and stuff. So again, a win. So both these guys go way over together because they win both games. And now if we look at the other game that these guys go way under together, this is the team FearX Youth. Okay, so FearX Youth, this yellow team. Well, what do you know? The first game was 5-22. So they end up losing this game really badly, right? They only get 5 kills and the other team gets 22 kills. So this team right here, this Bryon team that played yesterday, ends up going, everyone pretty much goes over, right? This guy gets 4, this guy gets 7, this guy gets 5, this guy gets 3. So everyone gets a lot of kills. And if we look at the team that we bet against and we took the unders on, 0 kills, 2 kills, 2 kills, 1 kill. So you really see the discrepancies between these two teams based on a winning and losing team. Now the second game was 4-14. So very similar story, right? Winning team dominates, losing team not so much, only 4 kills. And that is why these guys go so under. So this is, I don't know why there's a third game because it's just 2-0. But anyway, there wasn't a third game. I don't know why SofaScore showing that. But anyway, this is a super, super clean League of Legends correlated duo right here, or correlated 4-man, right? We have a correlated duo right here at the top with this game. All we needed them to do is win the game. Cool, they did that. So they both go over together. This game right here, we needed them to lose the game. They end up losing the game, so they both go under together. This play right here is like prime. Like if I were to put a textbook correlated League of Legends play, this would be the front cover of it. Like this is so textbook correlated League of Legends, and this is the correlation that we do for League of Legends, for Counter-Strike, for soccer, and for NFL. And I'm going to get into soccer and NFL as I get into today's picks. Correlated Counter-Strike is also very similar, but it's based off of game length. This game goes into overtime, and the second game goes the distance, so it goes 13-11, so 2 longer games. So what happens when a game is longer is the overs are likely to hit. What happens when a game is shorter is the unders are likely to hit. I'm not going to show you guys this game. I was planning to, but you guys just got to trust me. This game went into overtime, so these guys go way over together. So this is very correlated together, okay? As I always talk about is soccer. When a soccer team has less possession, they're going to likely go under together, okay? And, I think we have hit a couple of these on this channel and a couple of these recently on my VIP, of course, right? All right, so let's get into the official play of the day. This, by the way, is a 9.5x, which is absolutely amazing payout for how correlated this combination is. I just want to put that out there first. But we do have a correlated NFL duo right here, and then we have a correlated soccer duo. So let's start with the NFL, and this is our bread and butter in the NFL, guys. Super excited to give you guys the first correlated NFL pick of this channel so far this season, right? We're going to be doing this a lot as we progress through the season. It's very simple stuff, guys. Again, I always say this, but it doesn't matter whether you're betting on NFL, whether you're betting on college. I mean, if you could bet on high school, it'd be the same thing, right? You have a quarterback and receiver, and if a quarterback has a lot of passing yards, then the receiver is also likely to have a lot of receiving yards, right? It's very simple. It doesn't matter whether you're betting on Mahomes and Kelsey, or Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, or Arch Manning and Cam Coleman in Texas in college football, or Cooper Rush and Zachariah Branch in a preseason game, right? If Cooper Rush, let's say he gets 100 yards, so he gets a lot of yards comparatively to his line, then Zachariah Branch will probably get, I don't know, 40 yards or something, because again, his quarterback is doing well. So if Cooper Rush throws a 30-yard pass to Zachariah Branch, well, then Cooper Rush will instantly be like right here. His line will be like right here because he gets 30 yards, and then Zachariah Branch will go ahead and hit because his line's 23. Again, the opposite could occur also, right? Where Cooper Rush, let's say he only gets 30 yards, which I don't think is likely, but let's just say he does, then that means that Zachariah Branch will only maybe have like 15 yards or 10 yards or something because his quarterback did not do very well. So it's very similar to League of Legends, where all we're answering is the question, are they going to win or are they going to lose in League of Legends? All the question that we need here is Cooper Rush going to have a good game or bad game? If he has a good game, both overs should hit. If he has a bad game, then both unders should hit. And this is correlation, and this is the strategy that we've been using for the past 2.5 years to put us up 1,200 units. All right, so hopefully you guys understand this, and this is just what we do day in and day out. As I said, this is a 9.5x, which means that you could literally lose 8 entries in a row. You could have 8 entries like this going LLL all 8 times in a row like this. I think this is 8. I'm gonna need one more. Look at how many L's this would be, right? And then you would have this one win happen right here, that it's a 9.5x. And this one win, that's 9.5x, which means you would go up 8.5 units from this one entry. Minus 8 means you would go up 0.5 units, right? Just as I did earlier in the video. All of these losses would get paid off from this one win, right? And this is the strategy of the VIP. This is why we're long-term thinkers. That is why 1 loss, 2 losses, 5 losses, 8 losses does not define us, because it's a long-term game, guys. We could turn around and hit 2 9Xs back to back, and now we're well in the green, right? While everyone's crying about losing 2 entries, right? So let's talk about that's going to be the first part, and then the second part is going to be in soccer, right? I always talk about this, so I do want to kind of cut this down a little bit with the soccer, because I've talked about this a lot over the past couple of months. But we are taking this girl right here on the rain, and we are taking this girl right here on the rain, right? And if they have less possession, it's very similar to NFL or League of Legends. If they have less possession, that means that both of these girls are likely to go under together, okay? If they have a lot of possession, the rain does, which is the team that both these girls are on, they have a lot of possession, then they'll probably go over together, right? Why? Because soccer is based about passing. If they have the ball a lot, then they're going to pass a lot. If they don't have the ball a lot, they're not going to pass a lot. So we have very correlated here in soccer, very correlated here in NFL. And at the end of the day, this is a 4-man where we only need 2 things to go correctly for us. We need less possession by this team, and we need Cooper Rush to have a good game. And if that happens, then a 4-man could potentially hit for us for a 9.5x, which is the beauty of correlation, okay? Now, I told you guys I was going to give you guys 2 more bonus picks in today's video. Actually, there's 3. First pick, by the way, I talked about this yesterday, is Bijan under receiving yards at 0.5. I already talked about this yesterday, so if you want to have a deep dive in this pick, then go watch that video, but I still really like that pick. And what I've really been noticing, and you guys will see in the Zachariah Branch pick, I already kind of added this here, what I've really been noticing is that these 2nd and 3rd round receivers have really been doing well because they've been playing most of the game. They play like 70-80% of the snaps. You saw this with Jeremy Bernard. You saw this with Stribling yesterday. There's another one, I think, on the Raiders maybe that you guys saw. But these 2nd and 3rd string receivers have been absolutely crushing it. Now, I haven't really been targeting I haven't really been liking the first string receivers, like someone like Tate, because he only played 2 series. But these second, third string receivers have been crushing it. So the people who meet this that I really like are going to be Caleb Douglas over, and I really like Antonio Williams over as well, okay? Because I think they have good quarterback play, and I think that both of these guys are going to play most of the game. They're going to be their number 1 receiver on these teams, and they're going to be playing most of the game. I think it's very simple. I think that coaches and GMs want to see development from their second and third string receivers. Second and third round receivers, because this is a really good opportunity to get them playtime, get them dominant receiver work where they are the number 1 facing the number 1 corner, and they can really scout and develop these players. Because at the end of the day, second and third string receivers, if you can get them going early in their career, then they can turn into someone like a Stephon Diggs and stuff later in their career, okay? So these are my bonus picks for you guys, okay? I know I've said preseason favors a lot of unders, but I do like the overs for these guys, especially Caleb Douglas is one of my favorite picks right here because I do think he's going to play most of the game. He is going to be playing with Ewers and people on the Dolphins, and I think this game actually has a chance of being a decently high-scoring game, so we'll see how that goes there. There are other people around, Aaron Smith and stuff like that. The thing about that is I don't know about the Jets. I don't really trust the Jets. Also, Odell Beckham Jr. Under, I do kind of like too, but I might talk about that in tomorrow's video. But yeah, this is interesting to me. I just don't know how long he's going to play. I don't know if he's going to play 2 series, then I'd really like his under, or if he's going to play 80% of the game. But at the end of the day, it's a preseason game. I don't know why someone like Odell would play most of a preseason game. It doesn't really make sense to me, so I do also kind of like Odell. So I should give you guys 4 bonus picks, right? These are my favorite 2. Bijan under I still like. I talked about that yesterday, and then Odell under I'm kind of leaning towards 2, but I gotta kind of look into how much playtime Odell's gonna get, and this is happening tomorrow morning anyway, or tomorrow at noon. So these are the picks, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. To get into my VIP a number of ways with Kalshi. First way, second way is going to be with Underdog. Not with Underdog, with NOVIG, but you guys can also sign up for Underdog right here as well. And of course, you can get my NFL season pass, which is going to be all of my plays up until the Super Bowl 61 for $150. My number is a lot of places on the screen right here, right? So you can text me if you have any questions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.